Elon Musk warns about the future of US elections. This may be the last real one. Elon Musk, a figure known for both shaping groundbreaking technology and voicing controversial opinions, is now focusing his concerns on what he believes to be one of the most urgent threats facing America today: the risk of losing authentic elections.
And if Trump doesn't win, this will be the last real election in America. And we will, if the big government Kamala puppet machine wins, they will legalize the illegals in the swing states. There will be no swing states. Every election going forward will be a guaranteed Democrat win, and it'll actually be worse than California. The reason it'll be worse than California is because the one thing that keeps California from being super crazy is that you can move out of California, like you and I did. You and I used to be in California, but we moved to Texas. We're still in America. But if the Dems win this election, they will legalize enough illegals to turn the swing states, and everywhere will be like California. There will be no escape.
That is so insane.
This is the final. This is it. This is the last chance.
Has anybody tried to push back?
And I just want to go out and vote. Vote like your life depends on it. Vote like your future depends on it, because it does. This is the last chance, man.
If Trump doesn't win this election, it could be the last real one in America, Musk declared in a recent conversation, explaining that this isn't just another election cycle. It's a turning point for American democracy. According to Musk, the current administration's policies could lead to sweeping changes that will affect the structure of voting itself. Musk warns of a strategy that he believes could fundamentally alter the US political map, eliminating the unpredictability of swing states. If this big cement machine of establishment politics wins, he explains, they'll legalize millions of people in these states, erasing the concept of a swing state entirely. This would guarantee Democrat wins in every election moving forward. He likens this new political reality to California's extreme one-party dominance, but fears it could spread on a national scale. At least with California, he notes, you can still leave. You and I left California. We moved to Texas. We're still in America. But if swing states turn into permanently blue states, it's like there's no place to go. For Musk, this concern is real, not theoretical, and he's calling Americans to take action to avoid what he sees as a high-stakes outcome. Has anyone really thought this through and debated it? He asks. Has anyone tried to make a counter-argument, to say this is just a conspiracy theory? The truth is, there's a lot of silence on this, because if you dig into it, the data and trends are real. Musk believes that the stakes are higher than most people realize, and that public awareness is crucial. Has anyone tried to get out and vote with a sense of urgency, like your life depends on it? In Musk's eyes, it's not just about abstract numbers or trends, but about a systematic approach to changing the face of the voting population. He points to the influx of immigrants into swing states as a deliberate move, one designed to reshape voting demographics. The scale of it is bigger than people realize, Musk says. We've seen the numbers of people coming over, but it's not just people crossing on foot. People are flying in, arriving through organized channels, even using logistics apps initially designed for goods, now used to coordinate this influx. It's a systematic, well-organized movement. Musk argues that immigration is being channeled directly to swing states to influence political outcomes. He describes a process where immigrants are flown directly into these regions as part of a larger plan. It's not by accident, he insists. It's strategic. We're not just seeing new residents move in randomly. There's an intentionality behind it. He claims that the left has largely avoided pushing back on this, not because they don't see it, but because acknowledging it might bring more people to the same conclusions. When you really look at the numbers, they're from official sources. Are the numbers correct? Yes. Homeland Security provides them. It's a real issue, but it's not talked about because acknowledging it would expose what's happening. Musk believes the outcome of these changes goes beyond party politics. He sees it as a loss of democratic choice, particularly for those Americans who feel disenfranchised and are seeking alternatives. He points to Bernie Sanders' supporters as a case in point, suggesting that Sanders' chances were erased through establishment tactics. Look at what happened to Bernie, Musk says. He should have won the nomination, but they took it from him. Same story with others. It's a controlled primary process. Musk sees this as symptomatic of a larger trend, where the actual desires of the voters are sidelined in favor of an agenda dictated by those in power. According to Musk, the lack of transparency in decision-making is another major concern. He feels that the American political system, particularly within the current administration, operates on a managed narrative that obscures the real authority figures. You look at the system and you have to ask, who's actually in charge here? Musk explains. He argues that key figures in the administration seem distant from the decision-making processes, focused more on managing public image than on genuine governance. Reflecting on recent developments, Musk recalls instances where certain public figures attempted to influence his platform's content. He remembers campaigns reaching out to his team with requests to set conditions for appearances or restrict topics. Some campaigns wanted specific conditions, Musk recalls, but with a topic this significant, limiting the conversation feels wrong. People deserve to hear the full story, unedited. For Musk, public dialogue and transparency are paramount, especially when it comes to something as significant as the future of American democracy. The scale of what Musk is suggesting, a coordinated influx of new voters into swing states, accelerated pathways to citizenship, and the potential erasure of any political balance in key regions, strikes at the core of what he believes American democracy represents. He brings up Maslow's hierarchy of needs to explain why this approach is likely to succeed. Musk argues that for many immigrants, staying in the US and supporting their families takes precedence over other political considerations. These individuals are offered a path that, understandably, they'll take. They want to stay here, bring their family here, and the party supporting that gets their vote. And it's not even just a guess. You can look at California as an example. Musk references Reagan's 1980s amnesty policy as a moment that shifted California toward becoming a predominantly blue state. Musk is candid about his frustrations with what he views as denial from the left and the establishment at large. He recalls recent conversations with political figures who questioned his perspective. It's as though they can't imagine that something this organized could be happening, Musk recounts. But the information is there. It's from government sources. Homeland Security has released numbers, and they're not hiding them. So why ignore it? Breaking down what he sees as a well-organized process, Musk offers a step-by-step outline. First, a large population is moved to swing states, bypassing traditional pathways, there, here, and the probability of their voting Democrat is strong. Next, there's talk of fast-tracking citizenship, something you can hear from Chuck Schumer and others who advocate for granting citizenship status as soon as possible. If that happens, these new voters will have the ability to participate in elections, further changing the landscape. This is all out in the open, and yet it seems like people aren't looking closely at it. Musk emphasizes that he isn't taking sides based on ideology, but on the principle of genuine democratic choice. He views the potential loss of real electoral competition as a threat to the nation as a whole. This issue, for him, transcends political affiliations and demands a serious review. He sees it as an urgent situation that every American should engage with. "I'm putting this out there because people need to know," Musk states. "Whether you agree or not, it's time to talk about it. Because if we don't address these issues, we may never get the chance to have a real election again." Reflecting on the current political climate, Musk is struck by the irony of celebrities and public figures who now support the same political entities they once criticized for corruption or lack of transparency. "It's strange," he notes, "seeing people who've had very real personal battles with corruption now supporting figures they once criticized. The world of endorsements feels almost like a performance these days." For Musk, this change in public figures' stances serves as a reminder that public perception is often shaped by image rather than substance. In his final remarks, Musk returns to his core message. The stakes are incredibly high, and the future of American elections is at risk. He remains hopeful that the power of transparency and public dialogue can make a difference, emphasizing the importance of authentic, long-format discussions that expose the truth. "It's not enough to get a quick soundbite. People need to have space to talk in depth," Musk asserts. He champions media that provide platforms for unfiltered conversations. "That's why we need environments that encourage honesty," he says. "This room, these discussions, they have memory." As a parting thought, Musk calls on Americans to view this election with a renewed sense of urgency. He wants voters to go to the polls fully aware of what's at stake, to take control of their futures before it's too late. "I'm sharing this because the future of American elections depends on us," Musk states. "It's not just a matter of who wins, it's about whether we'll even have a real choice in the years to come."